Welcome back to my channel and thank you for being here. I made it to the last country of this trip, Australia. At the time of recording this, I have been gone 3 weeks and I'm not homesick, but I am looking forward to being home. The first few days here, I was in Brisbane. I stayed in the building you can see on the right side, so no spiders or snakes to worry about, though I do worry about them. Here is the view from my balcony. I was a block away from the Brisbane City Botanic Gardens, so I wandered through there a couple of times. There were a lot of people walking through the gardens, some clearly on their lunch break. This is also across the street from a university, so a lot of students were relaxing and soaking up the sun. I decided these banyan fig trees are my new favorite. There's one in India that has over 1,000 subsidiary trunks. I didn't know trees could grow like this. There were a lot of birds that stayed out of your way but are clearly very used to people. Also, quite a few lizards. I had to watch out while around this fountain. I came about a foot away from stepping on one. Sorry, buddy. There are so many different paths, even a playground, and part of it runs right along the river, so it was a beautiful place to explore. I also managed to see a possum wandering around during the day. Definitely didn't expect that. Mangroves are important to prevent soil erosion and feed baby fish. They're so important that it's illegal to remove them from private property without approval from the city first. There is a bike and pedestrian path on both sides of the river that seems to run the length of the entire city, and it is well used. I like the contrast of chain link and flowers here. I also saw a couple of statues. I'm guessing there's more, but I didn't walk for hours. The first one is this bluebird. It's so cute. The second is this man looking up. At this time of day, he was staring straight into the sun. I stopped here to people watch before getting food and gifts and heading back to my Airbnb for the night. My second full day, I took a river cruise to a koala sanctuary. How did I get so lucky with boats on this trip? It was a clear and calm day. Absolutely perfect. This is the last stop of the river ferry. The concept of a daily transport ferry is so cool to me. I learn random things on these excursions and then I tell you. This is 4 bridges. The first one we just passed is for pedestrians and bikes. The middle 2 are for trains. And the last one on the left is for cars. There are a lot of cars in the city, but they are also about other forms of transportation. Look at this walking path that is over the river. Now arriving at the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary. This is the first ever koala sanctuary and was established 99 years ago. They have way more than just koalas though. I got there in time for a raptor show. This is a black kite. A cockatoo decided to join in the show as well. This is an eastern barn owl found in every continent except Antarctica. I think barn owls are so cute. How many times am I going to say that in this? Next was a barking owl, which I didn't know existed. I heard it make a lot of noise today, but nothing quite like a bark. They are very pretty though. This is a wedge-tailed eagle. Do people even care about this? I care about it, so I'm going to keep going. This guy was hit by a car while scavenging some food on the side of the road. He can't fly far, as in not even across this field, so he lives here now. This is a demonstration of how they hunt. He did not want to let this thing go once he caught it. It was actually really adorable. Right after the raptors was a sheepdog demonstration. This is a kelpie. One sheepdog can herd up to 200 sheep, and it would take 3 to 5 people to do that. This little flock of 8 sheep was nothing for this dog. Gotta film the donkey. And I had to film the kangaroos as well. Most of them were behind a fence that said staff only in this section and in another part of the kangaroo area. There were only like 5 kangaroos outside of these fenced areas. And since they were the only ones people could get close to for pictures and petting, I decided to leave them alone. This is the kangaroo petting area, but I don't want anyone to touch me while I'm napping in the sun. There were also at least 2 emus in here. This one was poking its head into the shed, so the keepers fed it. The wombat was snoozing in its little nest out here. And the koalas, they are so cute. They're cuter than the stuffed animals of them, which is hard to do. I wondered why they were so itchy. Turns out they're just grooming. They sleep 20 hours a day, so most were sleeping. Some were eating, and this one was uncharacteristically on the ground. They rarely leave the trees. But look how cute it is! It didn't stay on the ground for long, though. They jump up the tree more than climb, as you saw. I was surprised by that. Then it had to start grooming, per usual. It took me a while, but I left the koalas for the reptiles. This is a Parenti, a Mertens water monitor, and a lace monitor. They were all laying in the sun and under heat lamps, along with this lovely and terrifying crocodile. On to the birds, a red-tailed black cockatoo. This thing is actually kind of big. We have some masked lapwings here, but I heard some local students call them something else. I don't remember what it was. And then hiding up here is a tawny frogmouth. I wish it was turned around and the sun wasn't behind it. These are brown-capped emerald doves. Some of the cockatoos were hiding, so I didn't get a lot of bird footage. And they have a platypus. I think they have two, but I couldn't see anything in the other enclosure. Maybe it was sleeping. This guy, or gal, was swimming around and having a grand old time. It's smaller than I expected, though. They don't have any info on it, so I don't know if it's not full grown yet. Thanks to the kiddo for pointing it out. Can't miss it now. I didn't get the name of this turtle. Sorry if you care about that. Watching it try to get out of the water was an adventure. It tried 3 different angles, and there was one point right about here that I thought it was going to stay in the water, but it did give exiting another try. And when it finally got far enough out for us to know that it stayed here for a long time. There were 3 kinds of bats in this enclosure, and I can't remember the exact name of this one, but everyone around me called them flying foxes, so that's what I'm going with. And they were all asleep except for this guy over here. He was scratching up a storm and ate part of a leaf as well. Of course, we have to end on this happy koala stretching out in the sun. A lizard came to say goodbye as we were leaving. This house here with the orange roof won some kind of architectural design award thing. I was actually surprised at the number of houses along the river, considering there's been 2 floods in the last 15 years, but I was still admiring them and decided that this one is my favorite. I learned about this structure on the way downriver and kind of forgot about it when we came back, but it is part of an old gas building from when lanterns were gaslit. And that was the end of the river cruise. Highly recommend. I, of course, had to have some relaxing time. As much as I love traveling, I don't love wearing myself out by doing things all day, every day. This is a time for me to slow down and even stop. Some people may think it's silly to travel so far and not do everything I possibly can, but this is how I like it. I do some wandering, some activities, and I also lay in bed until my stomach is growling. I watch a lot of movies and I read a lot of books. I stay places with pretty views so I can eat my breakfast while enjoying them. I go 90% of the time at home. I don't want my vacations to look the same. I was right across the river from the Wheel of Brisbane, so I bought a ticket to get a good view of the city at night. And as the sun was setting, I remembered I don't like Ferris wheels. I also didn't get the best views, at least on camera. You're inside of this gondola and there are lights at the bottom and all over the wheel, so the reflections were not helpful. And honestly, I didn't care about the views I could see because I was stressing out the whole time. I did see some lights in the trees nearby, so I walked over to see those. I thought it might be like a stage or some event, but it was just colorful light shining up into the trees. I also saw this rainforest path, so of course I had to walk on it. I guess the Wheel of Brisbane wasn't a complete failure. Thank you for not killing me. 10 out of 10 would not do again. But you know what I came back to? Some cheesecake. I'm glad I saved this to reward myself for not dying because it was really, really good. And that is it for Brisbane. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you don't care about animals, I'm not sorry. And don't watch the next one because there will be even more animals, I'm sure of it.